Okay. All right, cool. So I'm going to send out this slide deck. It has all the links to the competition. You can see kata kumite, rotational team kumite, and then weapons training and how we do conditioning drills in our dojo. Conditioning is a really fun part. Welcome to the orientation to team training. Here are some of our coaches. We have Shihan, this is JJ, Sensei Joe Mirza, who is in Chicago. He's actually the president, the treasurer of AAU Sports, which is a multi-sport organization, largest volunteer youth program in the world, actually. And then he also is chair of karate. And then Sensei Craig, Sensei Ken, and Sensei Patrick. So Sensei Patrick has served as our head coach for a number of years, and with his busy schedule, he's turned a lot of it over to the assistant instructors. Assistant coaches. So you'll see Sensei Dave here in the red jacket or the red polo. He does our weapons program, and he's going to open it up to all beginners and green belts. So who can compete? We'll get into that. New features this year for those of you guys, Aaron and JJ, Wakefield. New features. AU is going to have an adaptive or a disabled, specially abled karate division. So if you have friends that are either wheelchair bound, have mobility issues, or have intellectual or cognitive disabilities, they are all welcome to compete at 4 levels: white, green, brown, and black belts. Our dojo will only have a national team. We're not going to have anybody quitting mid-season saying, okay, we're going to do 4 regional events, but I'm not going to go to nationals. Nationals is in Fort Lauderdale. It's a fun place. It's going to be the weekend of 4th of July. So we hope that you will consider the national program and go all the way to the end. No quitting mid-season. This year, Shihan is going to allow you guys to do only kata and kobudo and not spar if you feel that that's the right choice for you. We generally train all 3 together because it's like 3 parts of a wheel. If you don't do one or the other, like if you don't spar, you don't really understand the urgency of some of your kata movements. If you don't do kata, then you don't have really good basics for your kumite. And if you don't do kobudo, you miss out on a place to win some medals because we actually have a very, very strong kobudo program, not only in the US, but here at our dojo. International competition is coming to the United States. The World Championship that I went to in Romania, it's going to be here in Fort Lauderdale the week after our nationals. So can you compete at it? Yes. If you didn't finish, if you finished 1, 2, or 3, which Aaron and JJ did in the black belt division, you're automatically qualified to be on the world team. On the world team, you will have programming, a special set of camps for you, and you'll have a special team jacket. You'll be brought up to the front at nationals, and then you'll also at the world championship be able to participate as a international athlete in the parade of athletes. It's really fun. I wish I had better pictures of that. Aaron probably does, JJ too. But if you did not finish first, second, or third, and you're not a black belt, you were not a black belt last year, you have to go to at least 1 team trial, and I'll talk about the team trials later. Our dojo encourages brown and black belts to do the worlds. Everybody else, white, green, brown, and black, can do nationals. All right, so here's adaptive karate. It's a little bit different. It's not all full kata. It can be full kata, but it can also, the sparring portion is pre-choreographed sparring. All right, so athletes, I'll have you speak up here, unmute yourself if you want to tell us about your favorite part of training and what you learned about yourself last year. I'm going to have I think probably the least shy is JJ. Well, I mean, Aaron, I mean, JJ. So one of you guys, who wants to speak first?
I can go first.
Cool.
I would say last year's, my favorite part was definitely teaching more than competing. When I taught higher level ranks like Aaron or Maya, because when you teach, you get better at karate, whether it's competing or whether it's just training in general. Because I didn't think I was going to compete last year because I had a plan to go to Japan and train over there. So I wasn't really planning on competing at nationals, but that didn't really work out due to COVID. So by me teaching, I was still like very active, training, fighting, kata, whatever. So I actually did fairly well at nationals. So I would say for me last year, teaching was more fun than actually competing. But, it's always really fun. You get the adrenaline rushing when you compete. So I would suggest joining this competition team because it's different from regular training.
Erin?
So I've been doing team since I started karate. I never did just like regular. Just jumped straight in the competition season. And you definitely see the level of skill and commitment, the difference between the kids who do competition and kids who don't. You see that their like drive is a lot more. You see the skill level increase tremendously. I've made so many friends through like within our dojo from other states, other countries, traveling. It's been so much fun. Been a part of my life for so long. I highly recommend it. If you're really into karate, you'll definitely see your skill level go up dramatically. And just like what JJ said, like the adrenaline rush you get from competing, it's like no other, honestly. It's so fun being out there and competing with all your friends and meeting new people, becoming like more engaged like within the karate community. So if you're on the fence, I definitely say like competing, you'll definitely see that like change in skill and focus within like the people who do team.
Thanks, Erin. Wakefield, you were a first timer on the team last year. What did you think? What was memorable? What did you enjoy?
I enjoyed about team going to my first ever tournament and doing trying to win gold, and I learned a lot from that tournament to fix mistakes.
But you weren't just like at regionals, you went to nationals and you did pretty well, right?
Yeah,
What did you get at nationals?
gold and bronze.
Gold and bronze, gold and kata. He is your national 6-year-old white belt champion. How many people did you have to go against at nationals?
I think 7.
7? Okay, those are 7 from other parts around the country who are trying just as hard to get the gold medal. So congratulations. Avi?
Right. So for me, for team, I think the best thing about it is just how much you improve, like from the time span from January all the way to July. The amount of improvement is pretty insane, actually, because we've been putting in work like 4 days a week, kumite, kata, everything. And not only just for the team season, but even if you're doing karate just to like develop higher in the ranks and stuff, it's super helpful because it helps you practice, run through all your kata, and especially focus on the ones you're actually competing with, which are usually kata that you're going to be doing when you're testing. So I think that really helps a lot. It prepares you for everything overall. It also teaches you how to fully commit to something from that part of the season. So, and you also meet a lot of new people, just like Erin said. I met not a lot of new people this year, and especially like training 4 days a week for that 5-month time span really helped improve my skills. So I think that's the best part about it. Just seeing that difference from where you begin and where you end.
Yeah, I think Shihan would do a big shout out to Abi because he contacted Shihan over the holidays and said, hey, I really want to do well this year. What does it take? And we set him on a course. JJ put some hard knocks. Erin put some hard knocks on Abi, and he did really, really well. He went against, I remember trying to coach him sideline, just like amazed at how much he improved. He took on the guy who ended up winning the division, and Abi swept the kid. I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? Oh, that came from Saturday morning training. So good job, everybody. All right, I'm gonna go back to the PowerPoint real quick. So we're gonna cover a couple more things. Any questions so far? Don't be shy. Okay. So you see all the folks who competed last year in these 4 photos. There were more. So friends, winning medals, conditioning, parents that I got to see my child really grow with a team of peers and coaches. All right. So the benefits on the left, better understanding of karate competition rules and techniques, clearly, right? That's the technical side. Improve coachability, not just for karate, but for piano, scouts, being a good brother or sister, being a good kid, listening skills. Improve goal setting. I mean, where else are we working with 6-year-olds to talk about setting goals and reaching them? And when you miss the mark, how you retool and get up and keep going, right? You get better speed, better power, better agility, better endurance, excellent cardio conditioning. I'll mention that when Brianne, Sensei Craig's daughter, went to college, they wanted to recruit her for rowing because they saw how great conditioning she was in, how easy she was to coach. She wasn't big enough. She was not tall enough for the sport. They also want to get her into volleyball. They just saw what a great athlete she had become. Camaraderie with teammates and coaches, general toughness, your pride in competing, your pride in etiquette and leadership skills, helping others, being happy for others when they succeed. The cost to you will be some time and energy to be at the dojo and to get here, helping out with some fundraisers. It is hard to do another sport or club during karate season. So if you're trying to manage, like I do basketball and karate, I do volleyball and karate, it might be, you might have to make a choice. You will have to make a choice. JJ and I started off, I think, in 3 different basketball leagues and had to quit mid-season because karate was in our family, it had to be first, right? There are certain sports that work really well with karate, like outdoor sports. When you're running and it's raining, you come indoors. But if you're trying to do a whole bunch of other things at the same time, it's going to be really hard to make that commitment. Time for traveling and training and competitions. The travel does take sometimes 2 or 3 hours to drive. Sometimes you have to fly. Competition class fees, there's going to be a $70 upcharge for 6 months. So for in addition to your regular dues, we're going to be charging you extra. The regional competition fees are about $70 per competition. That means if you do Kobudo, which is weapons, kata and kumite, it's $70 per person. You don't pay $70 3 times, just one time for an event for the day. I hope that made that clear. And the national competition fees depends on how many events you're doing. It does scale up. It's not like the regional, which is per person. And then lodging and travel. Some people like to make day trips out of stuff for South Carolina and Virginia. That is perfectly fine. If you carpool, that's even better. If you have friends that live near the competition site, invite them to come watch you. That's fine too. Some of us will go up the night before, help set up, have a good dinner, and then stay overnight. So that those are some costs that are not factored into what we're talking about today. So team roles, it takes a village. We have athletes, we have coaches, we have parents, we have volunteers, and we have booster club. So the parents are volunteers and booster club members. I can send this out. I mention all these because at the team trials, they are looking for not only athletes, but they're looking for. Here's some pictures of our lovely athletes with Sensei Mirza, our strong-headed, committed coaches with their coffee and their badges right there ringside. They are the ones that take your kids down to the mat and coach your kids at the mat. So, and then there's officials. So you see Sensei Craig with a bunch of, in his monkey suit and all the medals. So I'm going backwards now. Parents, you'll be doing a lot of chauffeuring. You need to arrive on time for competitions. You will be volunteering either registration, staging, scorekeeping, or setup. And then, or helping with concessions. You attend what's manageable and you report any health issues and advocate for your kid. So if your kid is really drowning in homework or has a recital, please let us know ahead of time. That's perfectly fine. We just don't want to put too much pressure on everybody. Just let us know. You have to let us know what's going on. So communicate. So the competition ranks, you can be a beginner, novice, intermediate, or advanced. So these letters were devised by the AAU to help us keep track of white belts, green belts, brown belts, and black belts. So if you currently have a student who is an orange belt or yellow belt, they will probably compete as a white belt. We'll put a white belt on you. And that just helps us organizing at the competition, because if we say everybody who is a brown belt, we don't have to think about, okay, does this purple belt really go up or down, right? This purple belt is wearing a brown belt. She is competing as a brown belt. I know where she belongs. She needs to be on mat 3. For you guys, it's also to compete at the right level. We as officials talk a lot about what is meaningful competition. Meaningful competition is not wearing a brown belt when you're actually a black belt and just blowing everybody away. That's not fair. We have some dojos who come and say, oh, well, we don't really know about AAU, so it's our first time. I'm gonna put my black belt who's in the dojo as a black belt, I'm gonna make him wear a white belt and compete. That's not meaningful competition. That's blowing people out of the water. Also, meaningful competition means we sometimes will combine small divisions. If we have one girl white belt and two girl green belts, and then one boy white belt, we might put them all together because they're about the same size and age, right? So there is competition. There's meaningful competition for everybody to kind of get out on the mat. You never really know what the outcome is until you put in your best effort. That's what I mean by meaningful competition. But at nationals, there's enough white belts. There's enough 6-year-old white belts that someone like Wakefield will have competition in his own division, in his own age, his own rank. And then if the divisions get really big in sparring, we will break them up into light and heavy so that your teeny tiny child does not have to go against a mammoth or vice versa. The competition events, I think I've already mentioned, there's kata, there's kumite, and there's kobudo weapons. They are not all mandatory. We would like you to do 2 or 3. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. Here's some of our trainings. The kids do get issued helmets and have to wear hand mitts. Boys have to wear grain cups, and everybody has to wear mouthpieces. Here's our training schedule. So we are adding these classes and converting some classes. So these are team only classes. You will not have to deal with other people who are not on the team. So you're going to get a lot more attention from the coaches that are there. We actually ask all of our coaches to be pretty much at every one of our trainings. Sometimes we'll break up the coaches for the younger versus the older. So for kata, you're going to get specialized kata pointers on Tuesdays. The green to brown belts on our team, I'm sorry, this should say white, green, and brown, should be on Tuesdays at 6:15. We'll have a 5:30 class for non-team members. So if you're joining a team, you will not go to 5:30 anymore. You'll come to 6:15, and the black belts will train at 7:15. Kumite, if you are white through brown, you'll be on Thursdays. And if you're advanced or older than 14 because of your size, you're going to be on Saturdays. And that was a class that JJ and Aaron used to teach. JJ used to teach, Aaron sometimes taught, but now Shion's going to basically take over that class. Sensei Terry will continue with the white through brown belt class on Thursdays. Conditioning on Fridays. So what is this all about? Conditioning is using the Bosu balls, using the bands, running sprints, indoors or out, doing jump rope, doing explosive sit-ups, explosive box jumps, and things that will help you with your kata and help you with your conditioning. Basically, we figured out that when JJ was doing when he was doing kumite, he needed to win about 5 or 6 matches to get to a gold medal. If you're going to do that, that's 10 minutes of bouncing around, 10 minutes of start, stop, get water, keep going. So we have to have really good conditioning. And I would say, Aaron will probably agree with me, that when we go to nationals, we are in better shape than 90% of the people out there, of all ages, because we work on conditioning. Our legs don't give out. We don't have jelly legs at the end of the competition or at the end of the day. Weapons is optional. It's going to be Fridays at 7. Any questions so far? Here's a schedule in a different format. The red is all of our team. You're not going to be at every one of these classes. You're going to be at 3 of these classes. And then we ask you to continue your regular training. What your regular training is going to do is keep you moving up in your rank and learning new material, understanding new applications of your kata, new ways of sparring. But what team training does is put you against people your size and improve your speed, improve your stamina, improve your understanding of your skills. So conduct, I can read this to you later, but basically we have an agreement for the athletes to be on time, to be respectful, to give your best, take care of your own equipment, take everybody seriously. Just because you're a black belt and you're going up against a girl who is lower rank or younger than you, you're not going to give your best. No, that doesn't happen. Everybody gives their best every time. Show good sportsmanship, even with other other team members and other teams, like at the tournament. We're not going to be that team that's like bad mannered. We're not going to be Cobra Kai. Parents, be supportive of your athletes' new endeavor. Use this opportunity to teach them how to be on time, listen, and show pride. Encourage them with positive words. Don't quit. Good work. It's really hard, but your kids are going to want to win gold. And of course, we want them to win. It's always more fun to put in the effort and win. We understand that. But we can't demand that our kids win. We can't put them down for not winning. We should encourage them for their effort, right? I love watching you train. That's the most important thing. I love watching you train. So let coaches tell your athletes what they need to do technically. We'll work on that. Encourage your athlete to use time wisely all through the day. Drink lots of water, even when they're like peeing all the time. They need to have that water flushing through the system. Eat healthy, cut down on the gummy bears. I mean, I love my gummy bears, but eat healthy, sleep early, take care of their own equipment. It's all really important, and you need to help us reinforce that. Ask other parents and booster club leaders how to help. Sometimes they'll offer you rides. Trust that we're a family. We're going to make sure everybody's taken care of. Here are the results from last year. These are our team members that went to nationals. So everyone did really well. Avi and Juliana missed the medals by just a few, but even our newest members like Wakefield did really, really well. And all ages too, right? Wakefield all the way up to Anna. Make sure everybody's taken. Here are the competition dates. This is probably what you're looking for. So we're going to start the season with training the first week of January because of some things that are happening in February, we want to get started earlier. So January 29th is a season kickoff camp. It's at our sister dojo in Goldsboro. That's the Jason Adams Goldsboro Okinawan Karate Dojo. They have a new dojo, a lot of space, and they're inviting Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia athletes to come join us. Then the first real competition is February 19th. It's in Virginia. Sensei Moose will be hosting it. Then we will be hosting the North Carolina Championship in Greensboro. And then in April, we go to South Carolina, Greenville, where we had our national championships last year. Sensei Tommy Hood, who is an amazing kumite coach, is going to be hosting that. And then we have a big gap in the middle. Why? It's because of the team trials. And I'll tell you about the team trials. So May 21st is our final Georgia regional. So you can go to 3 out of 4 of these if you could. We would appreciate that. That gets you tuned up for nationals. Nationals is the last week of June going into the 4th of July weekend. It's in Fort Lauderdale. And then the World Championship is the following week. You see the overlap, so don't worry about that. What happens on the first 2 days of any championship, national and world, is registration, weigh-ins. So there isn't fighting all the way through. So your competition at nationals will be on June 30th, July 1st, and July 2nd. In World Championship, July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, there's a lot of team dinners, team registration, team weigh-ins, maybe some light training, and then you go into the competition July 5th through the 7th. Then AU Junior Olympic Games. This is for younger people. That's in Greensboro. So we really on the East Coast have lucked out. We have all these really great competitions that are very nearby. We don't have to spend a whole lot of money getting there. We don't have to fly across an ocean to get to our World Championships. So again, here are the dates. Are they required? That's the bar column on the right. I'll send this to you guys. So what if I want to compete at Worlds? Again, if you didn't finish 1, 2, or 3 in the advanced division, we would encourage you to go to at least one team trial. Team trial is going to be $150. It includes the competition the day before. Team trials have been scheduled with 3 very popular, very populated, meaning large competitions. One is the Ozawa Cup in Las Vegas. It's on Easter weekend. The second one is April 30th and May 1st in Chicago. That one usually has, it's like a mini nationals. All the people who want to get in good training, good practice for competing are there, including our dojo. And then May 14th is a Florida regional, sorry, regional spelled wrong. And that's gonna be in Fort Pierce, which is about 2 hours south of Orlando. Okay, so I mentioned before, if you are not thinking about training as an athlete, this is for Aaron, JJ to consider. They are looking for coaches, athletes slash coaches. You can do both. So your estimated costs for the year for doing team is you need to get an AAU membership. If you are under 18, it's $16. That'll last you through August 31st of next year. And then team training fee at the dojo, we're gonna add, sorry, 70, not 75 per month over your regular dues. The competition fees, if you can go to 2, that'd be great. If you can go to 3, even better. And then the national competition fee. If you need equipment, the helmet is about 85. It's 25 to buy an old one. I have about 10 old ones, but they're in various sizes. We'll clean them up and just give them to you. They have to have a face shield. Don't go out on Amazon and try to buy one tonight. I'll show you what they need to look like, okay? I'll show you, I'll go grab one. And then hand mitts that are white. And then team trial if you want to go, and then travel meals. Booster Club. Anna, I'm going to shut up for a second and let you talk a little bit about what the Booster Club does, and I'll go get that helmet.
Well, the Booster Club is a group of team parents who get together and then try to help out our athletes as far as fundraising. When we go to the competition, we try to sign up for the volunteer work. Like you can sign up for work like registration table, setting up the tables for the competition floors. We have concession volunteers, staging, table scoring. We have all kinds of work for y'all to kind of try out and learn. I mean, we will teach you how to do all these things if you're interested. And we also have opening for the president position if you're interested in leading the Booster Club. Right now we have Regina as a treasurer, and I'm a kind of volunteer for the fundraising part because I'm myself into competing, and then I cannot focus 100% on the competing and then doing the fundraise at the same time for some tournaments. So we need lots of help from the parents. And the as far as a volunteer, we do have other fundraising that I'm not familiar with, like what's it called, the bulk sales. Since I don't know how that really works because I don't really shop. I don't have time for shop, but and then we do have like a team party and the team dinner party at the national. Is that we did not have it last year because of the COVID, but
Yeah.
we tend to have a team dinner party at the nationals and stuff like that. We do need a lot of coordination from the parents to get that going for the team.
Yep.
And is there anything else?
No, I'm gonna kind of reframe that Booster Club. We started the Booster Club because we wanted the parents to have a way to kind of communicate with each other about travel and to help out the kids that were traveling without parents. There were times we had teenagers traveling with us, basically JJ and Asia. My kids grew up with Juan, Lena, Caitlin in our car all the time. They were going everywhere with us. But if we do a good job in fundraising, we can do it through concessions while the competition's going on. We have to feed the volunteers anyway, so we might as well make money doing it. There are certain venues that allow us to fundraise. Others, they like, no, fundraising is done by Boy Scouts in our local region. So we don't have that opportunity. But the more we fundraise, the more we can spend on stipends. We've given stipends for traveling people going to nationals. Like here is $70 just to go get a t-shirt, hoodie, get a meal, whatever. And then we do a party at the end of the season, which is all paid for. There's like prizes, raffles and things like that for the kids. There's little trophies. None of the fundraising pays for the dojo to run the competition. The competition fees do that. The booster club money is for you guys. You guys control it. You guys raise as much as you want, and then you decide on the allocation. For example, if the year that we sent kids overseas for, and Anna, not just kids, abroad, I think the booster club gave them some spending money, right? Go have a great time. Go have a great time in Slovakia, or wherever you're going. There was one year that I know the booster club gave one individual something like $600 to get to an international competition, and then we matched that. Like our family matched it just because we really wanted her to go. So it's kind of scholarship. It's kind of, fun money. If you guys don't want to do a whole lot of fundraising, you might want to do what our football team did. It's basically give $90 and just say, that's it. I don't want to fundraise. I don't want to sell wrapping paper. I don't want to sell raffle tickets. Just here's some money, right? So that's something you guys can decide together. So anything else about fundraising? We've done car washes. We've done bake sales. We have done a spaghetti dinner. We've done a pie contest. Like everybody brought a different kind of pie. They donated a pie, and then people tasted it and then said, oh, I've got to have that. That's great. I'm going to buy that for $50. Oh, you want to pay 55? Okay, you can have it. So we've done that. That was fun. And then there's prizes for everybody who contributes. Okay, so here are the helmets. These are approved helmets. This one is JJ's. JJ doesn't wear it anymore because he's 19. I was hoping to get a smile there. But anyways, this is a Mizuno helmet. Hard to find in the US. It's a Japanese helmet. And then this is the one that we have pretty readily available. So it has a face shield. It has space for the eyes. It has covering for the ears, and has a strap on the bottom, right? And then it has a chin bar here, chin bar. So we have those for sale. If you want an old one, 25. If you want a new one, I've got them for 85. So let's see. I want to see if I have any other parts of my presentation I need to share with you. Okey-doke. Yep, boosters make it possible. Next steps. If you have any questions, let's talk about them now since we're recording, and other people can benefit from it. If you want to ask me by email, please do, or call us up. And then I put Miss Ryan's phone number on here. That's Marley's mom. And then Marilee Starr, she is Maya's mom. So I don't know that Maya's competing this year. So just gonna leave her number there. She can tell you about fundraising and scorekeeping. You are not the judge. You are the scorekeeper. So don't worry. You don't have to know much about karate. It's actually the best seat in the house. I love scorekeeping because you get to sit behind the judge and just like have fun and watch your kid. You can take pictures. We have a team system. So if you are in ring 1 doing scorekeeping and timekeeping, and you know your kid is going in ring 3, you just say, hey, I need to switch, and we'll just switch you out. It's not a big deal. We'll get someone in there. Mr. Patel was a really good scorekeeper, staging person, so he might be able to have some comments. So anybody who has questions now, if you're ready to train, we're going to have a free trial week. We're going to imitate exactly what we do during team training the week of December 1st through 4th. Okay, that first week. So no cost, no strings attached. See if you like it. We'll set it up just the way we normally do a week of team training.
This is a lot to chew on. Right? Even
So,
though,
okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Questions. JJ, do you have any comments since you got to run?
No, I just encourage you guys to try it out, at least for 1 year. If you don't like it, I mean, you can look back and say that you tried it, but I'm pretty positive that you guys will like it. So I just say give it a shot.
Okay. How about you, Mr. Patel? Since Devin did it a couple years, he did really well last year. He's in the other room, so you can talk about him.
sorry, had it on mute.
Yeah, Devin had a really good time. First year, so it was new for him, new for me. We enjoyed it, and we're going to do it again. So, like JJ said, I encourage everyone to at least try it once. You know.
I gotta run, but okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Jay.
Bye. See ya.
All right, so for the new people in the room, don't be shy. I think Miss Michelle already jumped off. Miss Tammy, Mr. VJ, questions. We have some new parents. I mean, the fairly new parents are Nathan Boer, who's in my screen, he's above you. And then Mr. Patel, Miss Christina R, her two kids are, have been doing, I think they're going into their third year now.
1, 2, 3, 4. Throw that kick.
Yeah, so Shian, can you scroll back to your
Sure.
presentation for a quick moment? I have a question.
Yep. This is the end. We'll go backwards.
Yeah, to the one more. Yeah, there. Okay.
Competition date.
So yeah, competition. So like if Shreyas wants to do this and he's interested, you and I talked about that as well.
Yep.
So does he have to go all the way through till July 28th? You might have clarified this, but I'm still going to ask you, because we are probably going to be in the country till the 7th of July and then headed out for some to India. So that's why.
No, that's a very good question. So up through May 21st is what we call our regional program, right? Things that we can control. These are all practices to get ready for nationals. We would like each of our athletes to do at least one national event. Your choices this year are national championship, which is June 28th through July 2nd, or Junior Olympics. My honest opinion from our dojo, and Aaron can probably agree, and all the other people who competed, national championships is a much better competition. It's much larger. The competition is stiffer, meaning it's higher quality competition. Okay. So you're done after the second. Because
Perfect.
he's not white or green, because he's not brown or black belt, I would not encourage him to do the team trials, because Shian's not going to train our white and green belts to that level. That's a whole nother level of elitism. So right. Elite training. So he'll be done after the second. For those of you guys who are thinking about doing the world championship, we anticipate you going through July 7th and then free for the rest of the summer.
Awesome.
Okay.
So that was question one. And then the second question was, this is not restricted to just kids, right? So
no,
maybe
yeah. So Anna, who's on, she and her two sons have competed together. I don't think they've done team kata, but
no, they don't want to do with me.
Her sons, Preston and Justin, have competed, and she's competed as well. So yes, Mr. VJ, you can compete. Mr. Tapman's competed. Mr. Scott from our black belt corps, he's competed. Kevin's competed one time. Ken used to compete a lot. Ken's a pretty good fighter, Coach Ken. Who else? Adults. Obviously, I used to compete, but that was a long time ago.
Okay.
Other questions?
So I'll one last thing, and then I'll. There was a link, so we just have to go to that link and register and pay the. Can you go back to the?
Oh, okay. No. I don't think we're all set up just yet to just have you click and say yes. I think we need to send out an email, say, what did you think? Are you ready to go? So okay. You're thinking about the end here?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the AAU sports.
Yeah, okay. Yes, you can go ahead and get your AAU membership. I will need that.
Okay.
So I will follow up tonight's presentation with sending out the slides, sending out a link to the recording for anybody who wants to hear it. Send out a team agreement. And then on the team agreement, it says step 1, get your AAU membership. Step 2, read through these codes of conduct. And then step 3, return this with your contact information. And then step 4 would be, let's get you set up on a payment. Yep.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. Actually, I wonder, like, for the World Championships and Junior Olympics,
Yes.
if and whenever Mali can, right? Participate. Must he be an American?
No, no, he does not need to be an American to be on the US team.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Mhm.
Okay.
Good question. You do not have.
So,
to-
Shihan, depends on where the tournament's located. There's a kind of different requirement for vaccine people not wearing a mask, or we have to wear a mask if you're not vaccinated, or what is the requirement?
That's a
Is
good
it gonna
question.
be
Yeah.
like last year, or?
So, it depends on the state that you're in.
Mhm.
I think North Carolina is more restrictive than Virginia and South Carolina, because the tournament we went to last weekend, Mr. Bork can probably remind us, most of us walked in with face masks and then took them off. And then in South Carolina last year, Greenville, the regional that we went to, we made sure Mr. Tommy Hood was very conscious of the need for masks, and we all wore masks, and then he sanitized everybody's mitts between fights. He had someone just walking around spraying people between fights. And then at nationals in the same city, everybody's pretty lax. The masks came off. When I went to Romania this year, it was masks on pretty much all the time until you got to the ring. So it's going to depend what summer looks like and what our host state is like. I don't know about Georgia. I can ask my friends in Atlanta what the situation is. So it's becoming standard practice that if you're wearing a helmet, you don't have to wear a mask. If you're doing kata individually on a mat, you can take off your mask when you come up and do the kata. In our dojo, we are still wearing masks. I haven't had a lot of pushback from any parents. I've had a lot of thank yous from parents for kids who are not yet vaccinated. And then this week I found out one of our kids got exposed at school and his whole family is staying at home. So that's a real concern though. Okay. Anyone else? Questions, comments, queries? Aaron, what do you think?
I would always recommend team. I've met some of my best friends there. It's so fun. If you have the opportunity to go to Worlds, it is an incredible experience. Not only learning just like karate things. That was 2019. That was the first time I've ever traveled by myself. So learning all bunch of new things. So if you have the opportunity to do it, definitely do it. And just like JJ said, just if you don't like it after 1 year, you can say you did it, but definitely recommend doing it.
Yeah. So Aaron, you were on our team for many years, and then you got to go overseas by yourself with the team.
Yes, yeah, with the team.
For you guys who, I didn't realize this was different. When I went to Romania, we met in Chicago. There were kids with 14 and under. They had to have a parent with them, one parent or chaperone. So some people came with 2 parents. The parents pay the same price as the athlete because they're part of a tour. For the kids who didn't come with parents and had competed with other organizations in other sports, they're like, this is so amazing that you forced us to come to one city, but now we feel like a team. Like we go places together, we wear the same things, we try new foods together. We're taking pictures with ourselves. And then during the competition, there were 6 teenagers who came up to me and said, hey, Coach Cindy, can we go outside to the farmer's market that's happening outside? I said, no, before you do that, go take pictures with every other team. They're like, what? I said, make it a scavenger hunt, make it a competition. I said, you got 3 boys, 3 girls, split up in 2 teams and go see how many pictures you can take with other team members and learn how to say hello in their language. They're like, whoa. 45 minutes later, they come back and they go, look at our pictures. We just met Mexico. I just got a French t-shirt. I just got a South African, like hat. They were so excited. They were really, they became American ambassadors. And that's what I thought the experience should have been. So as they were telling me about all the teams that they met, they said, do we get extra points if we get their flag? I go, did you steal a flag? They go, no, they gave it to us. I said, sure, you can get an extra point. So it really wasn't about the points, but it was just about meeting people. So that was really, really great. And then there was a gentleman who was walking by and I said, hey, this is the public relations director for WUKF. He's from Scotland. They're like, do we have Scotland yet? Hey, can you take a picture with us? So they grabbed him, took a picture, and he's like, what are you guys doing? And I said, this is like a contest. He goes, send me every one of your pictures. He was so impressed that they went out and did that. I'm like, okay, it was fun. It was all for fun, but they got to meet a lot of people. So, and then by the end, when we had on the last day, we had 2 12-year-olds who ended up in the finals, gold and silver against each other. The entire gym was saying, go USA, go USA, go USA, because they met all of us. And we're kind of hard to miss because we had Coach Moose with us. If you've not seen this man, he is tremendous. He is huge. So every time he speaks, everyone's like, oh my God, he's so big. But he lovable, great coach. And everyone knew us. So it was fun. There's one person you guys may know of, Senpai Alex Horsky. It was his goal to make the US team. He worked very, very hard each year, went to nationals, tried to finish in the top 3. And then one year he made it on the team, and that was his senior present. His parents got to send him to Scotland, right? Aaron, were you on that trip?
Yeah, that was my first Worlds.
That was his first
one.
time.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep. And Aaron's been selected on a very elite team of I think like 7 people, and she went to Romania, to Cluj.
In Romania, yeah.
1 year in the fall. JJ's gone to the International Sports Foundation High School Olympic Games as a team of 8. Usually the US teams are about 100 people big. So Aaron got to go on a team of 9, JJ got to go on a team of 8 to Morocco, and then to, what was the second trip?
Budapest.
Budapest, Hungary. Yep. So, yep. Okay. So I've gone 7 minutes past my time. If you have any other questions, feel free to shoot us an email or call us at our dojo number. That'll ring to my phone. And then I'll send out the slides and the team agreement. You guys have some time to decide. You don't have to decide until really the beginning of January, but we need to start rolling if that's what you and your kids decide. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Bye. Take care.